My name, Ruth Cooper.
How often do you read?
Every day. I generally read at least a book every other day. Feel real lost if I don't have a book to read.
What type of books do you read?
Anything. My theory is if it has print, I have to read it. So I read everything. Novels, mysteries, anything.
What has been your experience with foreign books translated into English? Have you had any such experience?
I have, especially when I was in school. And the ones I like most are the Russian novels. Aside from Russian novels, I could not get into them very well. I think because I just couldn't relate to them.
You have just read the new translation of the first book of The Fateful Adventures of the Good Soldier Svejk during the World War by the Czech author Jaroslav Hašek. When you were given the opportunity to read a book and you saw the title, what came to your mind?
The first thing I thought was, right, you want me to read this book that was translated from Czech? Right, it's going to be real interesting. Okay, I'll give it a try.
What happened next?
I gave it a try and I loved it and I wanted to keep reading it.
How many pages into the book did you know you're going to actually finish the book?
Probably about 10, because I kept thinking, nobody can be this smart or this stupid. I've got to decide which way this man is going.
Did you find it readable?
It was very easy to read because it went from one adventure to the next. So you're always waiting to see what is Svejk going to get into next.
What else did strike your fancy about the book?
It made me laugh and think, and it made me kind of wonder about human beings, like how can they be this silly?
On the serious side, do you have any recollection of some of the more serious passages?
When you started talking about the Secret Service and how they were picking up people just because they disagreed with what the government thought should be, I think that's the main thing that struck me. Just the overwhelming thought that you've got to agree with the government, otherwise you're definitely going to be an outcast.
You happen to be a black American. Is there anything special about the book that grabbed you as being something that could interest other black Americans?
Sure, how easily people can be certified as an imbecile, because this man was a government-certified imbecile, and although he was an imbecile, the government could still grab him to go off and fight their war. And that's exactly what happens to blacks. Your IQ is 49. Oh, well, the cutoff is 50, so we'll give you 1 point and let you go fight the war.
How strange is it for a modern 1990s American to get into the book?
I think it is really strange because I had all of those thoughts when I first heard, I want you to read this book. I was like, oh, Lord, it's not Jackie Collins. It's not Patricia Cornwell. I don't know about this. Okay, I'm going to give it a try. But once you start, it's very easy to just keep reading.
Can I tell people that, well, Ruth says, look, you check it out. We got 3 free chapters on the internet. They can download 3 chapters. And basically you told me that after 10 pages you were into it. Would you be willing to bet that most people after 3 chapters won't be able to put it down?
I would, because I think if people start thinking not that Svejk was around World War I, just remember Svejk is actually just a European Forrest Gump. Because, you know, Forrest was the same thing. He just kept getting into trouble and managing to come out okay. And it's the same thing Svejk did. I mean, he got into some situations that I thought, okay, that's it, the book's going to end soon now. And somehow he just came out smelling like a rose.
And that's just the first 200 pages. We got about 600 more coming out. So,
yeah, and I want to read the next 600.
Have you told anybody about this book?
I told my brother, and he wants to read it. And I told my girlfriend, and I'm going to give her a copy that I have and let her read it. So I think it's about to be spread around the south side of Chicago.
And you would give the book in Black America a chance?
Yeah, I would, because this man was not supposed to make it, and he saw people dying in the hospital, and he was begging for the treatment that they were dying from, and he managed to survive that, and not only survive it, but get out of it. And everything that happened to him, he just managed to overcome it. But you're rooting for him because you really want to make sure that he gets out okay.